Hi, and welcome to Talks with Shay. So today I would like to begin with reading from Colossians chapter 3 and verse 23. And it says, "And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily as to the Lord and not unto men." So today, for part 2 of Big Heart, I would like to talk to you about all in. So today we have Heather Meylian with us. Hi, Heather.
Hey.
And I'm so glad that she decided to come on. Of course, we're talking about the series this month titled Big Heart. And of course, this is a wonderful foster parent on top of a million other hats that she wear. But I'm so glad that she was able to join us today and give us a story. How did she get started with fostering? And so what happened? Where did the light bulb go off that you and your husband decided I want to foster?
Oh yeah. Well, I've wanted to foster I can ever remember. Since I can ever remember, my parents were foster parents.
Oh.
Yeah, and we had a lot of teens come through, little chaos, as teens are, but it's just always been on my heart. And when I got married, my goal was that we were going to have a baby, adopt, and have some children in with that, just mix it up. And that didn't happen. My husband said, sorry, my heart cannot handle taking in someone else's kids. And he just wanted to raise our own. And so I said, okay. And I guess we've been married about 15 years. Wow. And he came to me and said, I went to a men's conference and God said we need to do something for the next generation. Oh. And so fostering it is. And I was like, okay, but we're building a house and we're in the middle of, actually we were renovating a house. Mm-hmm. And he said, nope, we need to do it right now.
Wow.
And so I called thinking very naively that orientation would be, the next month and then a couple more months until we got into the training classes. But actually orientation was that week, and the next week we started orientation.
Wow. So it was
very quickly.
Okay.
Very quickly. I also told him, I said, be ready, because once we do this, I'm in it. Like, we're in it. So don't back out on me now.
Right. Once we start, we start.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And so we did. And now we've been fostering 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, we've had over 20 children come through our home. Long term, short term. Yeah. Lately we've been doing a lot of respite, which I am absolutely enjoying.
So can you tell them what respite is?
Oh yeah. So respite is whenever foster parents need a break from the children, whether it's because it's a difficult placement or maybe there was a death in the family, and so all the family, what would be their support group, is maybe tending to this situation, and so they don't have anyone to watch the child during a hard time.
Right.
And so we, as certified foster parents, will take the child into our home for a week or so, give that parent a break, let them get their affairs in order, right. And then they go back to the other foster parents.
Okay.
So it's just a time away for the child, whether it is because they needed a break from
right.
each other or because there was a family matter that our support group, which is typically our family and friends, right. aren't able to take care of it.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So did y'all start off with respite, or did y'all start off actually fostering?
We came straight into fostering.
Okay.
Our first placement, we got about 2 months after we got certified.
Okay.
And he stayed with us for 14 months.
Wow.
Yeah. He came in as a 3-month-old.
Wow.
He was adopted by his grandmother after he left us. And I just got him this weekend, our little Grayson. And we just have a really good relationship and bond with him. And during the time of having Grayson, we actually not only were like, let's just jump right on in, but we got another placement also.
Wow.
A 5-year-old boy,
Okay.
a very active, very just huge personality, 5-year-old boy who we're also still staying in touch
connection with. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what would you say was like so originally you always wanted to do it.
Right.
It took time for your husband to jump on board, and then y'all came together and decided to do it, and there was no looking back.
Right.
No looking back. Once you sign up for something, there is no going back.
No going back.
No going back. So what do you still do it currently?
We
right?
do.
Yeah.
We do a lot of respite. Our kids are older. We need it sometime because, foster care, you working with foster parents.
Right.
It's very emotionally draining.
Yes.
It's mentally and physically draining.
Yes.
Even whenever, for us, we just foster. So we have not adopted.
Okay.
So even for us who knew that those children were going to another home at the end of it, that they weren't staying with us, that transition, it's a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Your heart goes into it 100%.
Right.
And you can't just say, well, they're leaving, so I'm going to put this wall up. The children break those walls so quickly.
Yeah.
And so our heart needed that break. And so respite.
Fair.
Yeah, respite is a good way to still stay in. I get to love on the babies, and I get to help the foster parents, which is kind of where we are right now, through our journey. And it's just something I wanted to speak on whenever I talk about where our heart came into it was when we came into foster care, I was going to love on all the babies, love on all the children, send them back, but to another foster home or back to their birth parent when their birth parent got, went through their case plan and healed themselves. I did not realize how much we would become advocates for the birth parent.
Oh,
and
that's beautiful.
And
because they need that support.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they do.
You become a mentor for them.
That's beautiful. And that's the beauty of it. I think like for just life in general, sometimes we're dealt a bad hand, and sometimes a lot of biological parents, they've only raised their children how they knew best. Like I'm a firm believer that people do their best, but their best is not always our best.
Yeah.
And so these parents doing the best that they know how. A lot of times it's generational, right? Yeah, because it's like those biological parents probably were in foster care themselves,
Or in a situation where maybe foster care should have happened and it didn't. And
yes.
So now this is the other side of it.
Right.
I know our one of our placements who is early on, it's kind of where my heart came in, and I didn't get permission to totally share the story, so I'm not going to name names, but I know he's very open with it.
Right.
So, but he had his family was a drug family, and so he had been raised with it from a very, very young age. Like their family was the family to go to for drugs. It was prevalent in their home, and so it was just generational, like you said, and watching this dad work so hard his child came in twice into the care to get his son back and go through family preservation. And we brought him to Houston to pick up a vehicle whenever he was working to get his
big
son
heart.
back.
I'm telling you, big heart. People can't foster without having a big heart. You just can't do it.
You can't. And when you watch those birth parents work so hard to get their children back, they go from having nothing.
Yes.
And in 1 year have to have a home, transportation, a job, go through drug rehab, go through parenting classes, go through anger management classes. It's overwhelming.
Yes, it is overwhelming.
And watching how hard they work, my heart changed.
Yeah.
It became an advocate. It became just a passion to be like, how can we mentor these birth parents through this?
See? Big heart. And she has that, you know? And it's beautiful because you have to look beyond people's failures, right? We always want God to look and people to look beyond our failures because we're messed up too, you know, right? In some area or another, we have flaws ourselves, you know? And it's like sometimes we can't forget about those people that actually need a Heather in their lives, you know, because people look down on people that things like that happen to them, but they didn't know. If you don't know, you just don't know, right? You don't know. That's beautiful. So if you had to tell somebody today that's listening in that may be interested in fostering, maybe being a respite parent or anything like that, what is that one advice, that takeaway that you would share with them today?
Do it. God put it on your heart for a reason. And so do your research. And if it's on your heart and you're not ready for fostering yet, there's always something you can do to step your toes in that water, whether it's becoming a CASA advocate or helping out over here, volunteering here at Foster the Love.
Yes.
Shameless plug here. Get your feet involved. And then God's going to lead your steps. He's going to tell you where you need to be, whether it is diving into fostering, you know, wrap yourself with the community.
Right.
We have a big support group. Our foster parents really look out for each other.
They do.
And don't do it scared. And then when it gets hard, don't just automatically back out, push through, because it's still hard, but it's hard in a different way.
Yeah.
And you know, God leads you to it. He's going to get you through it, kind of deal. And I'm not a believer in people say God's going to not give you anything more than you can handle, because he absolutely will, because we are not guaranteed not to have trials in our life. But what he's going to do is hold your hand.
Yes.
And he's going to be there whenever you can't be. And he's going to be there for that child whenever you feel like you're failing them. You know, I have teens of my own, children of my own. And as hard as it is for us to parent our own children, and we've been raised godly. We've been raised in a family that had healthy relationships. You know, these children haven't. Their parents haven't. And so you are teaching them truly what love looks like. You know, you're teaching those parents what a healthy parent relationship is, and leaving bits of knowledge and wisdom and things that hopefully they'll come back on, you know, later in life. And not just from you, from all over. That hopefully they'll get it. And even if their children don't come back home with the birth parents, that they take that and grow with it, so that their later relationships will be healed, you know. And these children, even if they don't stay in your home, that they're going to take a little bit from everywhere they go and later put it all together to help themselves. So it's sometimes it feels like you're not making a difference, you know, but you are. Like you said, even if it's those little bitty pieces that you can put in somebody. You know, when we think about just giving to other people and things like that, sometimes it's those little things that mean the most to somebody. Well, I thank you so much today for joining us today. Thank you. Like she said, she works for Foster the Love. They do a lot of donations and things in the community for foster families. An amazing, you know, but I'm going to put their information down so you can check out their information. You can donate things here. You can donate your time, you know, items, you know, all of those things that foster families can use. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with us today. Until next week with Talks with Shay, y'all be blessed. And remember, check out my website at www.talkswithshay.org. You can subscribe to my videos on YouTube, like them as well, and find me on Facebook. Like my page, share my page, invite your friends to like my page. And until next time with Talks with Shay, Shay is out. Y'all stay blessed.